Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. Today we will talk about another important examples of biomolecules known as lipids. In this lecture, we will discuss about the introduction, types and functions of lipids. So let's start today's lecture. First of all, we will discuss about some important properties of lipids. So what is lipids? Lipids is a heterogeneous group of organic compounds that are insoluble in water but soluble in non-polar organic solvents, that is ether, acetone, chloroform, etc. So lipids is a heterogeneous group of organic compounds, which means that it contains a variety of groups such as glycerol, fatty acid, etc. And they are organic in nature, which means that they contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and sometimes nitrogen and phosphorus groups also. And the most important properties of lipids are they are insoluble in water but soluble in non-polar organic solvents. You have to remember this property. And this property of the lipids, that non-polar hydrophobic nature of lipids is due to the presence of carbon and hydrogen bonds. So lipid is a non-polar molecules and hydrophobic in nature, which means that it is insoluble in water. This property of lipid is due to the carbon-hydrogen bonding. Also, lipids contain more carbon and hydrogen bonds than OH groups. So it results in the storage of more energy in lipids than in carbohydrates and proteins. So lipids contain more carbon and hydrogen bonds than OH groups, so it also contains more energy than carbohydrates and proteins. Also, lipids are not included in the category of polymer, and it is made of different smaller units, that is glycerol and fatty acids, rather than repeating monomers as occur in carbohydrates, proteins, and nucleic acid. So lipids are not polymer because they contain different smaller units which cannot included in the category of monomers. So they are not included in the category of polymer. Next is lipids. Lipids occurs in most plants, animals, and microorganisms, and they used lipids in cell membranes, components, energy storage molecule, insulation, and as a hormone. So the uses of lipids is very diverse, and it is a component of cell membrane. As we know that phospholipids is a component of cell membrane. Also, it store energy, and it store more energy than carbohydrates and proteins. Also, it act as an insulation material in of different organs, and also some hormones such as estrogen and testosterone, they are lipids in nature. Next one is the classification of lipids. And lipids are classified into three major groups. First one is simple lipids. Simple lipids are esters of fatty acids with various alcohols, or on hydrolysis, it yields fatty acid or glycerol. So simple lipids are ester. Esters are those molecules which are formed when alcohol and carboxylic acid combined and it release water. So when carboxylic acid and alcohols combine, it results in esters. So lipids are esters of fatty acids and various alcohols. Our lipids are those molecules which on hydrolysis yield fatty acid and glycerols. Simple lipids contains fats and oils. They are also known as triacyl glycerol. Fats and oil are collectively known as triacyl glycerol, and waxes. These two are the examples of simple lipids. You can see here in figure 1 the ester formation. This one is glycerol. First one is glycerol. This one is fatty acid. When these two combine, you can see here ester bond is formed. This is glycerol and this is fatty acid. These two combine and ester bond is formed. This is triglyceride with the release of with the release of water. So this is an ester formation. When glycerol and fatty acid combine, it form an ester. So this is simple lipids. Next one is the compound lipids. Compound lipids are ester of fatty acids containing groups in addition to alcohol and fatty acid. So in addition to alcohols and fatty acid, it also contains some groups. And these groups can be different, sometimes phosphate, carbohydrates. So the examples of compound lipids are phospholipids. So this contain the group phosphate. When lipids and phosphate combine, it results in two phospholipids. Next one is glycolipids. When carbohydrates combine with lipids, it results in glycolipids. Sulfolipids with sulfates combine with lipids, it results in sulfolipids. And lipoproteins, when lipids and proteins combine, it results in lipoprotein. The last one is the derived lipids. Derived lipids are the hydrolysis product of simple and compound lipids. So it results from simple and compound lipids and include fatty acid, mono and diacyl glycerol, glycerol, sphingosine, and sterols, etc. We will discuss each type in detail in the later lecture. So the derived lipids are the hydrolysis product of simple and compound lipids. Next one is the function of lipids. The first important function is the energy storage. Lipids are the major energy source, and the complete oxidation of fatty acid, which is an example of lipids, provides 38 kilojoule per gram or 9 kilocalorie per gram as compared to 17 kilojoule per gram or 4 kilocalorie per gram for the carbohydrate breakdown. So it is the major energy source as compared to carbohydrates and proteins. The next important function of lipids is lipids are an important component of biological membrane or cell membrane. The important component of biological membrane is glycerophospholipids, which is a type of phospholipids, are the main structural part of cell membrane. Also, polyunsaturated fatty acid present in phospholipids provide fluidity and flexibility to biological membrane. So the fluid and flexible nature of cell or biological membrane is due to the presence of polyunsaturated fatty acid, which is present in phospholipids. So this is very important component of biological or cell membrane. The next important function is insulation. Fats serves as a thermal insulator in subcutaneous tissues. It is the innermost tissues present inside the body and around certain organs. So fats act as a thermal insulator in tissues and around some organs and protect it from shock. Next one is protection. Waxes and cutin, which is found in the outermost layer of plant surfaces. These provide protection from dehydration and pathogens. So it protects the plant leaves. Also act in regulation and maintenance of the body. Triglycerols maintains a constant temperature and it helps to produce and regulates hormones such as leptin. Leptin is present in adipose tissue and it regulates appetites. So fats also regulate and maintain the body internal environment and also hormonal regulation. Next one is the signaling inside the body. Fats also help form nerve cell membrane, insulate neurons, and facilitate the cell signaling of electrical impulse throughout the brain. So it play an important role in the cell signaling inside the body. Also, lipids play an important role in certain enzymes activation. For example, glucose 6-phosphatase, it requires specific lipids for its activation. Next one is lipid play hormonal roles. For example, steroids such as estrogen and testosterone, which is a female. Estrogen is present in female and testosterone is present in male. These are male and female sex hormones, which is lipids in nature because it is steroids. Steroids are an example of lipids. Also, some edible oils are extracted from the seeds of many plants, and these are used in cooking. Animal fats and milk yield butter and ghee, so it is an important role of lipids. Next one is the desserts. Animals such as camel uses fat stored in its hump for obtaining metabolic water during extreme dry condition. So in extreme dry condition, camel uses the lipids in the form of fats, which is stored in its hump for obtaining metabolic water. In birds, oil from preen or oil glands is used to lubricate feathers and protect it from wetting. So this is also an important function of lipids. In mammalian hairs, lipids, the mammalian hairs are lubricated by sebaceous gland. Sebaceous glands produce sebum. Sebum is an oily substance and it protects the skin from drying. So it is an important function of lipids. So it is all about lipids. Thank you for watching.